I am hitting it. Yes, stop/eject. Nothing is coming out. Fine, 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 fine. This week they review the 1996 movie Mars Attacks. Enjoy.
Warning, spoilies ahead. What age did slumber, like a sleepover, stop being a sleepover?
And become
crashing?
I don't know.
Like,
because we just kept doing it,
Yeah,
and then I mean, eventually it was a way to be like, oh, I drank too much and now I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, so like it went from like, let's ask my mom if I can stay over, to, oh, I'm just gonna stay over. Welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I am Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
Today's film we're talking about is Mars Attacks. Came out in 1996. Written by Jonathan Gems, based off the trading card series. Directed by Tim Burton. And I gotta say, what happened to Tim Burton? Because like early movies, loved it. Like loved this movie, loved him before, and then something happened, and I'm like, I no longer like Tim Burton movies.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like it was a weird, like this one had a cool style to it, which was like, you know, he was riffing on like 1950s sci-fi movies, which was great. But like, sorry, I'm like typing in something. So like that made sense. Like he's like riffing on 1950s movie, but then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is like, what fucking style are you going for? Like Johnny Depp looks like he has a weird Snapchat filter the whole time. It's just, I don't know.
I didn't like the Oompa Loompas in that one.
Yeah.
What was the other movie I didn't really care for?
Let me see where I went wrong, because like Planet of the Apes, no. It's like after Mars Attacks, it started going downhill, because then he had Sleepy Hollow, then he had Planet of the Apes. Big Fish was actually a good movie.
I know. Well, I liked Sleepy Hollow as well. Am I the only one that likes Sleepy Hollow?
No, that's pretty good. And then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, no. And then there was like Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, Dark Shadows, Frankenweenie, Big Eyes, which I don't know. So yeah, it just went downhill.
Well, I remember thinking like, oh, hey, Sweeney Todd looks cool. No,
was not.
Not cool. I checked it out. Well, I mean, a lot of people said, oh man, it's really good. You know,
I just don't like musicals. I think that's my problem.
I do like musicals, but very few musicals.
Like I like Cannibal the musical. That's one of my favorites.
That's the best musical ever written.
But Mars Attacks, solid movie. It's great. It's a good laugh. It's like a spoof on that kind of stuff, which I was reading he wanted to do like stop motion to make it more like an old-timey, like one of those old-timey like 50s movies. But like Henry Selick was really busy at the time. So then he went to CG, but what ILM did it, Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh. And well, it's cool.
I mean, and like
it's obviously like, you know, older CG, but it's cool.
He actually purposely made it look bad. He wanted them to make it look cheesy, which it works because it fits that style of the movie where it looks like cheesy effects, but it's still pretty good.
Well, what's crazy about it is like it's cheesy, but knowing that it was supposed to be makes it like it's cheesy, but like I don't know how to just it's like not at the same time.
Yeah,
if that
like
makes sense.
For as trying as hard to make them look bad, they looked really good. Like the aliens look great.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what it would cost to get like a replica alien from the movie,
which
like
I love.
The dead ones.
Yeah, when they use like the autopsy scenes and stuff. And like the whole thing. It has no genitalia whatsoever, and
it's crazy how many like famous actors were in this.
Dude,
like,
I was just
I'm watching
about
those
to
things.
say
Like,
the same
I'm watching
thing.
the names fly up, and I'm like, what? I did not remember Michael J. Fox being in it. I didn't remember Jack Black. Like,
So I'm gonna go through the big names. Like it's great. And
Yeah.
what I love about it is there's no main character.
yeah,
It was just
It's
like
like-
a bunch of people's stories all happening at once. Because you have Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Bronson, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J, my man.
oh
You got
yeah,
Tom Jones was in it. Natalie
I know.
Portman.
I know.
What's her name? Pam Grier was in it. Jack Black,
Oh, that's
young
right.
Jack Black. Joe Don Baker, fucking Mitchell was in it. Christina Applegate. It's a fucking
was
big
a
movie.
very star-studded movie, so to
Yeah.
speak.
But I loved it, and it was great because like they were not afraid to kill people off
I know.
for being
I was
such
like,
big name actors. It was
There was,
like
like,
Michael
and
J
you
just like dead. Yeah,
I know. His death scene was cool though.
yeah. She picks up the hand and it's just like a skeleton. And I like how the skeletons are the color of the rays that the Martians use.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like they bleach him or something.
Yeah. But the premise is great because it's like it's simple of like Martians come down and then like of course the president wants to look good, make it a good PR moment because like Martin Short's like his press secretary or whatever, secretary of press.
His like pervy it's just like I like how it just goes randomly to him and he's picking up hookers.
Yeah.
That's just
Oh,
his thing
The
apparently.
stress of my job, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like how they're just making it look good, and then the translation machine where it was like we come in peace, and then they like start
So-
shooting everybody, and then
I mean, I definitely had a question about that. So when I remember when I was a kid and I first saw the movie, I thought maybe the translator was just not a thing that worked.
yeah,
But then at the end, they're chasing people around and they're talking into it and they're saying, "Oh, come back! Don't run away from
yeah,
us."
we are your friends, don't run. Yeah, like I fucking love that. So it's like opposite for them,
Yeah.
and just
it's
how
like-
like silly it was with like the Martians, like they wear like red underwear when they're on their ships, and that's
I know
it.
they're not dressed on the ships except for the
Yeah.
few that wear just like ridiculously over the top sequin capes.
Yeah, like shiny robes and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. It's a great movie, star-studded.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, and it's crazy. Like their technology is like it doesn't look advanced, but it's like
Mhm.
super advanced. Like when they get shot at, unless they
Yeah.
get hit in the helmet, like it just does nothing.
Yeah, and even when they're like in their ships, they're like able to cut Pierce Bronson apart and like have him like head and leg, and he's still alive. And they put a dog
Yeah.
on Sarah Jessica Parker's body.
The dog head on her body is. It's like, what was the point of that? Why'd you do it? Just I feel like the whole movie is just a bunch of aliens like trolling. That's
Yeah, they're just like dicking around, and like
Yeah. because they know we're like a weak ass species.
yeah, the part where like they send up the nuke. And they just like capture it, and then they like huff all the nitrogen like it was like helium. What's cool is like, so I was reading when they were writing the dialogue of the aliens, they didn't know what they were going to sound like on the script, so they just wrote ack ack ack, and then they just kept it that way. So like that's why the aliens are just like ack 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 ack.
It works.
Yeah, it's fucking
It
great.
works. Like we don't need a language to understand from them.
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't the whole point of the movie. It's cool. I love. The picture you've got behind you right now is making me think of like how like I don't think I've ever seen in any other movie so many like national monuments just destroyed.
yeah, like the Mount Rushmore, and like they're going to Paris and all that stuff.
Just melting the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. Oh, and then the Easter Island heads. They bowl with it.
The what was it? Like the Washington Monument.
Oh
When
yeah,
they were trying to push it over on the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. The movie does like what XFiles does, is where they have like time of day, the date, and where it's at, but I never pay attention to those to know and care about that. Like XFiles does it all the time. It's like West Virginia, 11 p.m. I'm like, I don't need to know. I'm not going to remember the next scene. So But it was still goofy.
Unless you end up on like Jeopardy and they're like, in this one episode.
Yeah. At episode 16 of season 3, Paper Dolls or Paper Hearts, what day of the week was it? When Mulder said, "You son of a bitch, it's the wrong house, you son of a bitch."
Oh, I know this. I know this one. Actually, I think it was like cold. I think it was a cold month. If I'm thinking.
I don't remember. I don't remember what season that was, but it's the wrong house, you son of a bitch.
I love how he says "son of a bitch."
He says it a lot.
I know.
He deserves to die like an animal, you son of a bitch.
Classic Mulder.
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
There was one joke in the movie that I loved, but I know with today's culture would not hit well. Was they're doing that press conference and there's that person like, do the Martians have 2 sexes like we do?
Oh my God.
It's like
Dude, I wrote that down because I was just like, nope. And there's the part that's cut out of the movie. Or there's the cancel culture people coming up and being like, cancel Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Hashtag cancel Tim Burton. Yeah, I said hashtag. Their little salute thing.
Yeah, a little circle. Yeah.
I love how that kid's like, the international sign of the donut.
Yeah. I did just Jack Nicholson playing 2 roles was fucking great. Like he's a good.
Well, for a minute, like in the movie, I'm watching. I'm like, God, why does that guy seem like he's Jack Nicholson too? I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's totally him. I felt like an idiot. I love when he takes off that hat and like the long hair comes off with it.
Jack Nicholson, spaghetti and meatballs. That guy, his other character art, his other character's art's like shirt game was on fucking point, dude. Like the cowboy shirts. Oh, I was jealous of those.
You gotta pick up some of those.
I'm down.
You're like the only person I know that could pull that off.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I like his or like the Galaxy clothes he's wearing, like when he's in that interview at the end.
Yeah. Once again, like the style of the movie, like it was colorful. It looked like the 50s, but it took place in 96. But I still like how the military had like primitive tanks. They're still using like M1 rifles, and they still have like the 50s like army gear, but it's like 96.
I wrote that down. I was like, why do these guys? Why are they using 50s gear in 96? Yeah. I was watching, or I noticed this. Natalie Portman comes out of her room when those guys are arguing, or when she's trying to walk through the White House and there's a tour. Oh, sorry, miss, you can't come this way. There's a tour.
In the end, when there's that part where the Martians are in the things, like, we can't go this way, ma'am. There's a tour going.
I was just thinking, like, man, it would suck to be a kid in the White House. Like, just having to live there and have to deal with that shit all the time. I mean, because she's like, oh, hey, people live here because those dudes are sitting out there arguing.
Yeah. It is a house. Like, people do live there. Be respectful.
This was after having to deal with that twice. I was like, God damn, that would suck.
But she did get all the pizza she could ever want. So
she did. She did get a lot of pizza. There is a pizza scene.
Yep. This movie, I think, is on the list of. On the list of the dog dies in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the dog barks and the Martian just hits it, which is the disguise lady that they used was. I fucking loved how when she's walking, she looks like she's walking, but she's just gliding. So like her legs were moving, but she was like gliding.
Yeah, and it's weird how hunched over she gets.
Yeah.
God, I don't. That scene.
And she doesn't blink, which even is like freakier too.
I know. It's like, how does this woman look normal to you?
And just how like.
Well, I mean, he picks up hookers. It seems like that's a normal thing. It's like, oh, cool. There's some woman hanging outside of the White House. I think I'll just bring her in. Falls
on the bed and plays some music.
This was a different time, though. I mean, maybe it was, you're not doing that now.
Yeah.
I mean, the press secretary or whatever. What was he doing?
I think he was secretary of press or whatever. Press secretary. I don't know.
He's probably not bringing in like hookers to the the Kennedy room.
The Kennedy room, yeah.
This is the Kennedy room.
Yeah. Lift up the Kennedy head statue and press a button and boom.
I was like, I thought that was a cool touch. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's probably not in the actual White House, but it's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I wish it would be.
I know.
This was a good Jack Black moment for him. He could act goofy and over the top. It was fucking great.
It's funny. It took me a second to realize it was him in the blindfold putting the
When he's
gun
like
together.
loading the gun, yeah.
And I like when he actually goes to shoot the gun, the clip just falls out.
I remember enjoying this as a kid, but I think as an adult, I feel like I enjoy it more, appreciate it more.
I do too.
It's a good Burton flick. I wish he would keep this style. And plus, it had Sir Danny Elfman doing the soundtrack. So, what more could you want?
Well, yeah. Doesn't he normally do Tim Burton movies though?
I think so. I think they had like a falling out for a bit, then he goes back to it. Which I know. What sucked is I know Sam Raimi and Danny Elfman had a falling out after like Spider-Man 2 or some shit, maybe Spider-Man 3.
I'd be curious to know what that falling out was.
Yeah. I think like creative differences.
Gossip.
Yeah. Hollywood gossip. Oh.
Ooh, he had a people that only we care about.
Tell me more about Danny Elfman. People be like,
yeah, you got, you know that feud between Danny Elfman and Sam Raimi, dude?
Let me know more about that.
I want to know about that.
The guy who did Spider-Man and the guy who can like play xylophone while jumping around on stage.
Yeah, I want to see an true Hollywood story about that.
I loved the grandma in the movie. I remember her from Beetlejuice as their caseworker, Juno.
It took me forever to, because I kept hearing her voice. I'm like, where is she from?
Yeah.
Where else have I heard her voice?
A lot of people worked with Burton previously were in this movie.
Yeah,
which is cool. Like Danny DeVito was like barely in it, and then just like gone.
I know. I couldn't remember that he died. I was like, aw. There's a spoiler. Sorry if you haven't seen the movie. Danny DeVito
I feel like
dies.
anybody who watches this show is like gonna get every episode spoiled. So go. I'll put a thing before in the description. If you haven't seen it, warning spoilers.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you were purposely trying to put that background behind you, but
it worked out really well. Like,
and I'm thinking you look a little bit better than Pierce Brosnan in there, and he's a hunk.
You stop. You make me blush. Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce.
I like the pipe. He never really like smokes it. It's always just in his mouth. Like I never really see like much smoke come from it.
Oh, he smoked it.
Oh yeah. I wonder what was in it, dude.
It was that wacky tobacco, bro. No, not 90s. No, well, they didn't do that back then. That's naughty.
Nope.
The first time the aliens land. Guy, I love that they come in peace, and the guy that releases the dove. My question is did he just carry a dove all the way there just in case that scenario went down?
He was like hoping, like, hey, I'm gonna bring my dove. Let's hope they come in peace. Ooh.
I like how later on in the signs in the when they land at the White House, the no doves and no flash photography.
Yeah, no applause, no.
Oh
birds,
yeah, it was the no applause.
And he shoots the bird in the White House when it goes off. I just like
they don't like birds.
when the ship first lands and the general's like, gee whiz, when they're coming out. The lady with like the crystal pyramid on her hood, and she's like sitting up there. It was fucking great.
She's the one that becomes an alcoholic again, isn't she?
Yeah, starts drinking again. She's Art's wife or whatever.
Yeah. You got a drink in front of me like that?
I'm sitting around, I'm learning casinos, seeing the flow of people and the machines.
I liked that character.
Yeah.
When they're getting off the ship, when they're getting ready to like invade, I like that machine that just like snaps their suits on. Oh yeah, just boom, boom, like that. What's crazy is there's not like a seam like on the glass or anything. It's like how? A great joke, it fucking made me laugh, was the one Martian gets into the giant walking robot and the other Martian throws him a sack lunch and he grabs it. And that robot is so cool. Yeah. It's fucking, I like when it's the two trailers and just like smashes them together. Joe Don Baker. The way that alien dies, that was kind of lame. The way he just smashes up against the glass because he hits those power lines. Yeah. The part where
Christina Applegate's banging that dude, and they're like watching and steaming up their helmets, and there's like the little windshield blades. Yeah.
I like her in the movie too. The way when Jack Black's like leaving, just the way she's like standing there the whole time, just the
arched back and everything.
Yeah. It was great because Riley and I were. She's like, why is she standing? I'm like, it for dramatic effect, just to be an idiot. Yeah, because it's over the top.
She's a hua. That's why.
Yeah. Oh man, like just all of their tech to me is fucking cool. Like their guns are badass. Like. And like even their little sidearms, and I like how those kids just like they're like, these are what guns do. Just pick them up. Let's get the president out of here.
Yeah, which is because they're training the whole movie. They're playing the little arcade game when their mom finds them on the bus, and then they're playing it at home.
I bet their mom is pretty happy that they skipped school or didn't come home for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be pretty pissed too, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
what the fuck are you doing for 3 days? And you're like in elementary and middle school. Like, where are you going? Where are you staying?
The arcade, obviously, it's an all-night arcade.
Yeah,
and they for some reason have an unlimited amount of money where they can just keep shooting at that dude,
mm-hmm.
which is all that game seems to be.
I just what I like is like everybody dies, everybody's fair game, but children. I think if kids were to die, that would have made it like rated R, because the White House tour, there's like the children there, and like the aliens start shooting and like don't hit any of them.
What about the Boy Scouts?
So you don't see them die, you just assume they die. Like on screen death probably would have got the MPAA to be like rated R.
Oh, I just saw a kid get vaporized by a pretend alien.
Wow, that's too real. It's probably from Grand Theft Auto. That's how they're getting it.
The people that do that, if anybody's watching this, and you're one of those, you're embarrassing. You're an embarrassing person. But apparently, just cannot separate reality from like fantasy.
Kids don't know that video games ain't real.
Well, that's why you tell them.
Yeah, I was playing video games since I was a kid. I haven't shot up a school once.
Well, that's because we were playing Willow.
Okay, that is a different story, but whatever.
The games were less violent. I mean, we're playing Uniracers and Plock.
Ooh, Plock. I mean, he's throwing his arms and legs off. So
that's true. That's true.
Pretty violent, if you ask me. The song that kills the Martians, I really like.
Who is that again?
I don't know. Like,
I should have to Shazam it.
I thought in my head when I was trying to remember the movie, I thought it was Johnny Western, because I really love Johnny Western. But when watching it again, I was like, well, it's not him. This is going to take a while. Hang on.
That's okay.
But I love that song, like the yodeling.
Yeah, it's cool.
And like how that's the thing that kills them. And the end, when it's the Star Spangled Banner played by like the mariachi band.
I know, it's awesome. Like, it looks like how many people do you think were wiped out?
A lot, which is,
like honestly, like yeah, but I mean, it's what's cool about it is like all the tech that humanity gets from that. I mean, if you think about it, because I mean, there are ships everywhere, guns, you get everywhere.
You get stolen alien tech, man. You could be flying spaceships in no time. Now humans and Earth are gonna spread their horrible virus of humanity across the universe. It's great.
They're gonna go to Mars and kick some ass. They're pissed.
You know what? They're gonna get their ass to Mars.
I want to see a second Mars Attacks. Or we go back to Mars.
It should be called Earth Attacks.
That's right.
Think about it.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna kick ass.
It's Slim Whitman.
Slim Whitman.
Yeah. I like how suddenly the Martians knew like what Congress was. They're like, we want to talk to Congress.
So they could just like vaporize them all.
Yeah. Why aren't I there? This would be a good photo op. Sir, I don't know why, but there's something with they don't want all three executive branches together in one room. I don't get it.
Oh, I thought I'm assuming it must have been like some sort of green screen, but when Pierce Brosnan and what's her name fall on the floor and they're just
Sarah
severed
Jessica
heads.
Parker. Yeah, they're like rolling around.
I thought that was really cool looking. I'm like, that looks pretty real.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, like most of the special effects in this movie were, for 96, pretty damn cool.
Well, it was ILM, so that's always good. Like they're kick ass when it comes to that shit.
Can we just get the industrial light part? I don't really.
No more magic.
I don't need any magic.
You know, I don't approve of my children believing in magic.
Yeah, that's witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that goes against my religious beliefs.
Yeah, because like turning water into wine wasn't magic; it's a miracle.
Yeah, you know, and
So-
creating all kinds of bread and fish too.
Out of one bread or one fish, that's not magic.
Yeah,
That's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, that's Miracle Whip is what that
Yeah.
is.
You know, and I like that stuff, so I would know.
Mm-hmm. I'm quite learned when it comes to that kind of thing, so
The guy, the boxer dude, how did he make it to Washington at the end of the movie?
I don't know. Like, to me, I know it's supposed to be like happy ending, but to me, he should have like stayed dead.
You think he should have died?
Yeah, because I mean, they're all like they move around, and he's laying on the ground. Like, I don't think the Martians would have just been like, "Nah, he's probably dead," and leave. I think like they would have just like fucking ripped him apart or like vaporized him.
Well, I think they would have just ripped him apart. I mean, he pretty much killed that other one.
Yeah, so I know it's supposed to be like happy ending because it's like that kind of movie, but like he should have just stayed dead. My opinion. But yeah,
I know, but I'm like, oh, did he walk from Nevada to Washington?
That's a
and
long-
but in a day
Mhm.
or less than that,
Yeah.
because there's no time frame in there in the middle of
Well,
that.
they didn't have the text on the bottom of the screen to tell me when that was. So I don't know if a
how did I
month
know?
passed or if like a year had passed.
Well, if a month or a year had passed, they were very slow at cleaning up dead aliens, and they also don't deteriorate very fast because those kids push one out of their room.
I love that kid's speech at the end of like, we got to start rebuilding like houses, but instead of houses, I feel like maybe we could live in teepees because that's like better. That's all I got to say.
I like how he wouldn't even put the mic up too. He just like leans over.
You can hear that guy in the crowd like, "Oh, get louder!" And,
Speak up a little.
yeah.
Why don't you speak up a little?
Hey, partner, raise your voice. I just realized that's pre-Star Wars for Natalie Portman.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
What year? Oh,
Because this is 96, and then Phantom Menace came out 99.
oh man, 99. I really thought that was like 2000.
No, yeah, that was 99, and then 2002, and then 2005. Because Lucas did the every 3 years thing, which is good. Take 3 years to make a Star Wars movie, not one fucking year, and then make garbage.
But I like garbage. I'm just kidding. I don't like garbage.
Well, you're only happy when it rains, so
Well,
see what I did there.
yeah, I did. It was a pretty it's a solid movie. Like there's
Yeah.
not much to question. More of it for me was just like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, the technology they have is so badass. God.
The chewing gum that was just like pure nitrogen, so they could like breathe in the atmosphere.
That's
And
cool.
I love that part when he like sticks his finger in her mouth and he like rips part of the skin off and you see her teeth.
Mhm.
And there's that shot where she's standing up and the light's just like hitting the teeth part. She like puts more gum and I was like, that's fucking cool. Like stylistically, he's really good at making cool stylized shots like that. I just wish he would go back to making good movies.
Right.
Like he went goth forever now. Like he started out like kind of goth, but then he could make like things more colorful and like upbeat.
Yeah, that were like somewhat goofy.
But then he just was like,
But now
Yeah, fuck it.
everybody has dark circles under their eyes, regardless of the weather
Yeah,
or regardless of how much sleep they get.
yeah,
It's just what they look like in Tim Burton's world. Everybody looks like they just do not sleep or go in the sun.
maybe they all have scurvy. I don't know.
They probably do.
And he just needs to stop using John Depp because John Depp he's aging, man. He's just give him a break. Let him retire.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's so much John Depp is the problem. It's just like stop. I mean, you don't have to cast him in everything just because you guys are friends.
Yeah. Why is
hey,
it
got this
why
movie
is it-
coming up? You want to be in it? What's my
Yeah.
role? I don't know. Pick one.
whatever you want?
The lead,
why not-
cool.
Why not bring like Michael Keaton back or like
Seriously.
what would you rate this? What would you rate this movie?
Ooh. I would give this movie I'd give it 8.5 flying saucers
Ooh.
out of 10.
I might have to agree with you on that one.
Because I'm like,
I go,
it's not
get 8.5. It's not
the best movie I've ever seen. It's not my
great.
favorite Tim Burton flick, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm glad what we're doing is picking movies we haven't seen in a really long time, because
it's bringing me back to shit I haven't seen in a while, and it's great.
Well, it's cool because what I remember is not normally what I'm seeing, because like I'm remembering from when I was a kid when I saw it, because I hadn't seen this movie for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And same with like Addams Family. When we went and did that one, you know, I was remembering it as a kid. So kind of going into it fresh.
Yeah. Which is nice. Like you see it from an adult perspective, like, because I'm only remembering certain scenes as a kid, and now I'm catching new ones where I was like, oh fuck, that's rad.
Like, and it makes the movie even better. It makes the movie that I already liked, you know, even better. I
do remember as a kid not liking how many people died, because I mostly just liked all those actors. I was like, I don't want him to die.
I just didn't remember a lot of those actors were in it.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising.
Again, star-studded.
Star-studded.
Oh, yeah. A few studs in there, too, huh?
A couple studs right here. Talking about movies. 2 studs, 1 film is what we should change it to.
Right?
Yep. Season 2, 2 studs, 1 film.
Yeah, 2 studs. 2 guys squinting their eyes. They're always looking into the sun, because that's what hot dudes.
Oh, me? Just watching a film. No big deal.
Yeah. Which one? I don't know yet. I don't know.
Whatever one I decide.
Yeah, it's this guy's choice next time. Actually,
That reminds me. Next episode is our season finale. We will have a special guest, which I will not reveal yet. But we will have a special guest on our season 1 finale.
Have a pretty good time there, I think.
Yeah. And he's we're gonna have a hoot and a holler.
Did he already pick the movie?
He did indeed.
What was it again?
Well, I don't want to say it.
Oh, you don't want to reveal it. Oh, it's gonna be a surprise
for the one viewer who's gonna watch this. I want them to be on the edge of their seat.
Well, I'm telling people about it. I'm telling people.
Word of mouth is out there.
The word of mouth is out there, and if you're a new person to this, tell everybody.
As Jim Morrison said, tell all the people that you see.
Well, I mean, we can call it 2 studs, but I mean, for the people that are just listening to us with your ear holes, just imagine how hot we are.
Like, yeah, I've got
I just said the
blonde
man
hair. I've got shiny blue eyes.
They're icy
blue. Just I've got chiseled features. I've got a 7-pack of abs. I'm working on that last one to make it 8.
Yeah, can't have any.
I'm about 6'3", 6'4", and I'm just a guy. I love to read books. I'm a bookworm. I'm a gym rat. I'm a car nut. I love cars. I'm a car enthusiast. Working on cars, looking at cars. Hey, I even like driving cars.
Whoa, gearhead over here.
Just regular old gearhead. Guilty as charged. So.
Now that sounds like a stud to me. Stud and a half.
I'd say that was a pretty terrific episode. I don't know about you.
I'd say it was a pretty terrific movie.
Ooh, yes. I like what you did there. So, this is 2 studs, 1 film signing off.
Was it 2 studs? Was it studs? Yes, it was, because we talked about the stud finder. You found him. We're right here. Whoever's the people watching this, you guys are professional stud finders.
Need look no further whatsoever, my friend. Found 2 studs.
You found us.